Hi everyone, I'm just checking in from Olympic Valley. We're currently at my accommodation with the Adidas Terex team. That's up in the house behind us. And yeah, I thought this would be a very picturesque location to do this latest check-in. So yeah, I'm currently in my taper, 1 week out now from race day. Got the bulk of the training out from behind us, and yeah, so one of my biggest sessions, I would say, leading into this 100-mile race, just keeping in mind that I got in like a 50k race at UTA, I got in Tarawera 100k early on in the season, but let's just say the biggest session, I think, what was it, 4 times 20 minutes with I think 5-minute recoveries in between, and my longest long run at altitude, and that was the last check-in that I did last week, so that was 4.5 hours. And yeah, it was a solid long run, but I recovered really well from it. So today I actually got a request actually from the last video from Grant. He was asking if I could go through a bit of a run through of the gear that I'll be using for Western States, and a bit of gear in general. And so yeah, I just thought I'd take you through. Hopefully you can hear me pretty well, even though the river's flowing in the background, but let's go through that now. I will say Western States, you know, I'll be aiming for about, let's just say 14 hours, eh? That's the magic number that gets thrown around a bit. 14 hours would be absolutely amazing, but keeping in mind conditions do have to be right. If it's a hot day, that might slow people down, it might blow people up. You got to consider your hydration, you got to consider everything really, just making sure your effort is sustainable. So anyway, let's just say 14 hours for me, but I'll talk you through some of the stuff that I'll be taking with me on race day, and some stuff that I will not be taking through, and that is a personal decision of mine, just determined on, you know, what feels best. But let's go through nutrition first. So I am with Precision Fuel and Hydration. We've got all the gear just here. I will not be carrying my vest on race day, just because it's like, I don't want to add that extra layer onto things. Sorry, it's a bit windy, hopefully you can hear me all right. But yeah, the vest, great vest, used at UTA 50, but I will not be needing that just because of the ease of aid stations. Ease for myself, not for support crew. It's absolutely hectic for them, they've got some driving to do in between. But yeah, I'll be using this belt to hold my nutrition, and I will fill up flow gel into these flasks. Like, I'll use a smaller flask if it's like less time between aid stations. I'll use this bigger flask if it's more time. Basically this will get me almost through like 3 hours, plus I'll use the carb electrolyte drink, and then also some smaller gels as well. So yeah, that's basically how I use that. And then when I'm going through the uncrewed aid stations, if I top up with water, I've got to keep in mind that I want to keep my electrolyte balance go, so I use these Precision Hydration electrolyte capsules, and I think they got like 250 milligrams of sodium in each one. So if I take like 2 to a bottle, that's about me. So yeah, these flasks that I'm using, the handhelds, they're the Hydropack Sky Flasks, 500 mils worth. So ideally I'll be carrying 1 of these and potentially 2 on the aid stations that are quite far in between. That pretty much covers off my fueling side of things. It's really quite simple. I've really simplified that over the last couple of years, and I'll be aiming for about 100 grams of carbs per hour, considering, you know, it's a hot day. The heat, the climate can cause stomach upset if you haven't practiced properly, and I feel like I practiced pretty good. The Phoenix HL18RT headlight, I will probably just be using that before the start in the morning, and fingers crossed I get back before dusk in the afternoon. You know, it's not guaranteed. Some people will definitely be using the headlight at Western States, and yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have this as backup, but hopefully I won't need it in the evening. We've got the Adidas Terex singlet. This has been specially made, what do you call this, like perforated with all these holes to increase a bit of airflow, even though hopefully most of the time I'll be very wet. Been soaking myself in creeks and at aid stations, so that will almost be sticking to me, but hopefully just that material against the skin should help keep me cool. And then we've got the ice bandana. This is actually full of ice now. That just clips into place when you go through. You get swap out your old ones that have melted and then swap them for the new ones. They just clip like that. I've got the Shoutout heart rate monitor. Another cool thing that I've only just been using recently in the past couple of years. Oh no, sorry, past couple of years. This year at Tarawera, I used the Shoutout Aqua headphones. You can actually store music already on these headphones, and so you don't need to be carrying a phone. And with no mandatory gear for Western States, I will not be carrying a phone. I'll be relying. This is again, personal decision. You can carry safety items like a phone and extra jackets and things, but no, I will not be for the sake of weight. And so yeah, these Shoutout Aqua headphones went really well at Tarawera. I just found listening to a bit of music helps help me concentrate maybe a little bit less on the pain that I was feeling in the back end of the race, and really help me push through the hills and get through to the more runnable, faster sections. And it's whew, you just get into a good bit of rhythm listening to a bit of music. Well, I did anyway, and so hopefully it works for me again. So I've got to download some killer tunes yeah, for the race day. I've got some on here, but you want to sometimes freshen it up, but you also want some that you can sing along to, and maybe not sing along to, but hum along to or think about. Yeah, so what else have we got? I mean, I think this is key. I know it's key. So the anti-chafe gel, that's it, is a Kiwi brand. So thanks, big shout out to them for sending some stuff out to me. Don't forget this. I usually put them right next to my shoes the night before the race so that I do not forget to lube up. Usually I'll do a little bit on my toes, just around here and around here in between, just so you get a little bit, so you don't create any friction. It can help prevent blisters, but I won't put too much on. And then you can do the nips, but in a long race like Western States, I'll be using tape for the nips. So yeah, you just do all the other bits and pieces with this. And then well, last but not least, of course not least, these are my go-to for racing and for training for most of the time. The Adidas Terrex Agravix Speed Ultra. And yeah, I just find they're not looking the cleanest, because I like to wear my shoe in for at least a couple of weeks before the race. So these are somewhat fresh, but I've definitely worn them in. They feel good. I just like to make sure that my foot is feeling like it's contoured to the shoe. I've got them wet, I've run in them, and I know that there are going to be no hot spots. They just feel good on my feet. This is a very responsive cushion shoe. Yeah, it's using the Light Strike Pro foam, and yeah, it's very it helps save your legs, and especially on the downhills, which Western States is a massive downhill race, so you're gonna want to have a shoe that saves your legs, you feel comfortable in, and you can get rolling when push comes to shove towards the back end of the race. So I think I've pretty much explained what I need. It's not much, but it works. Okay, here we go. This is a great time to practice that ice bandana, but as you can see, it's not too bad. Doesn't bounce around too much, definitely keeping my neck cold, and as that ice melts, it'll drip down my back and hopefully keep me cool.